At this point, as we head into the overnight, on the upside, the existing resistance zones at the 39.30 to 32 area, 35.5, 37.5, those are still valid and in play. And right now, the bigger question is whether this was simply a pullback and now the market can resume, or are we actually in a transitionary phase where the market has maybe overshot to the upside and now it's going into more of a balancing phase, and the balance area on the daily chart looks a bit like this, with the balance area lows being around 38, roughly 38.65 up to 85 or so, right? This would be kind of the bottom of that range. Top of the range is, of course, today's zone that marked the all-time high, 39.55 quarter to 59 quarter, and short term on the smaller time frame, the 39.30 to 38, I think is going to be very key. If we continue holding below today's initial resistance zone, then there's still that potential for sellers to step back in. But if we take out initial resistance and then also put in a breakout above 37.5, that would be a bullish confirmation that can then lead to a test of higher prices, and at that point the buyers will be more dominant. But if sellers continue to hold ES below 39.30 to 37.5, then there's still potential for sellers to step back in. And if we are going into more of a consolidation phase, or if we are transitioning from a bullish environment to more of a balancing or even slightly bearish and balancing environment, then the bottom of the balance is pretty far away. So that means that there's decent reward potential, at least for anyone shorting here. And if the market does start selling off, especially below 38.09, or sorry, 39.09, the HVN, then we could be still looking at a move lower into these lower areas of support, and then buyers can step in at the lower areas of support. But for now, the short-term inflection point, I believe, is going to be this 39.30 to 37.5 area. How ES responds here, I think, is going to be very telling. And then on the downside, I think 39.09 area, today's bull bear zone, roughly, that's still going to be an important spot. And if the market slices through that or consolidates there and then launches from 39.09 to the downside, then that could have some legs to it. That move could have some legs to it, and we could be looking at a move down into still that 84.5 to 91.5 area, these two zones, and possibly even lower. So for now, I think the short-term bias will either be neutral or even neutral bearish below initial resistance, while the intermediate and bigger picture remain as is. So that's the view as we head into overnight.